Land in Uganda plays a critical role in supporting individual and national development. In rural areas, people mainly depend on land in terms of agriculture for food and income. According to Uganda's Constitution of 1995, there are 4 land tenure systems, including customary, freehold, milo, and leasehold. Most rural people have rights to their land through customary tenure arrangements, representing 75 to 80% of land holdings. However, only 15% to 20% of the land is formally registered. Most often, women, especially widows, experience land grabbing, arbitrary eviction, and low access to or no justice at all. This situation has attracted global land actors to work with national governments and community-based stakeholders to improve customary land administration and governance systems. The Global Land Tool Network, facilitated by the United Nations Human Settlements Program, is one body that is working to improve land tenure security of vulnerable poor smallholder farmers in select areas in Uganda. South Western and the Elgon regions are some of the areas where Global Land Tool Network supported intervention is putting a smile on many a woman's face. With funding from the Embassy of the Kingdom of Netherlands in Uganda, Global Land Tool Network is implementing a project to secure land tenure of 3,600 smallholder farmers to improve food security.
The Netherlands Embassy is committed to enhancing land tenure security for farmers, and we are working with the GLTN through the UN Habitat to ensure that this is done.
Codenamed Securing Land Tenure Among Smallholder Farmers for Improved Food Security in Elgon region and southwestern Uganda, the project is focusing on 5 sub-counties selected from 2 districts. These include Rubaya, Kamganguzi and Buhara in Kabale district, Bukasacha and Bungoho in Bale district. The project is strengthening the capacity of land actors and stakeholders in customary land administration.
We work to implement different legal and policy provisions of the Ugandan land policy and land law. So in particular, we are working to strengthen customary land administration through issuance of certificates of customary ownership.
The project is being implemented in partnership with the International Institute of Rural Reconstruction, a local partner with experience in farmer empowerment in agriculture systems, together with International Fertilizer Development Center.
There is a strong connection between land rights and food security in terms of land being an important asset to productivity. Land is also important for agricultural financing. It's also a source of income and therefore as a strong and important livelihood for smallholder farmers, it is imperative that land rights are secured.
We are targeting farmers who are International Fertilizer Development Center beneficiaries. So we want to secure their land so that they have the ownership, they have the rights over their land.
The Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development is highly committed to the project processes and outcomes. The ultimate result is a Certificate of Customary Ownership, which is the conclusive evidence of land ownership rights under the customary land tenure.
The government of Uganda, through the Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development, is now implementing the Constitution, the Land Act and the National Land Policy, and with a view to ensuring that all citizens enjoy security of tenure to their land, by that meaning that the state is now guaranteeing against evictions.
Through a participatory approach, stakeholders are identified and reoriented on their mandate and roles in protecting land rights for both men and women. Community sensitization on land rights is an ongoing process conducted through radio talk shows, community meetings, household visits and information, education and communication materials such as posters and tutorial handbooks. Capacity of land actors and stakeholders is strengthened in various innovative land tools, methods and approaches of customary land administration. Stakeholders are trained in participatory land rights enumeration, land mapping and recordation, land mediation, gender evaluation criteria, and the social tenure domain model. The tools and approaches are being applied, experiences and lessons shared for learning and replication.
Gender evaluation criteria are an effective tool because it involves both men and women in the registration process.
Land registration desks are strengthened with the support of the sub-county leadership. This is enabling the community members, especially women, to access land registration information such as application forms.
This project has enabled women and girls to know their rights as far as land ownership is concerned.
The Global Land Tool Network trained youth volunteers undertake land mapping using global positioning system machines assisted by the area land committees and village chairpersons. Equality and equity in land administration are the driving force behind the Global Land Tool Network's work and her partners. The vulnerable groups of people including women, youth, widows, elderly and persons with disability are assisted to register their land and issued with certificates of customary land ownership. The project is also strengthening alternative dispute resolution and mediation mechanisms among its communities. By September 2019, 30 of the 37 cases encountered had been resolved. This is contributing to harmony and peace in the community.
Twaturebagamu enyombo z'amataka nko kugwanira embiba rubiri owo yatikine nawe konka ati kutwahandikisize ekibira cyawe ninga itaka ryawe nurikozesa nko kori kwenda ngene tushemerirwe munonga abwa project eye.
Local council leaders, parish chiefs, members of area land committees, women and youth councillors, faith leaders, the private sector, farmer associations and civil society are all involved in the project to sustain and safeguard the outcomes. In southwestern Uganda, Certificates of Customary Land Ownership were launched by the President of Uganda, His Excellency Gen. Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, on July 31st, 2019. By the end of the project's second phase, 4,000 households comprising over 20,000 smallholder farmers will have received certificates of customary land ownership.